to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. Lord have mercy. She's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you will be discarded. They will
Absolutely.
upgrade. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. And they're even doing it now, Queen, because if you go in those spaces where, people of that ideology predominantly are, they're saying stuff like, I still don't like her.
All right. Welcome, everybody. I didn't realize I wasn't coming through. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was double muted. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm getting ahead of myself. This isn't our first rodeo. We've talked about this. Y'all know exactly what's going on. You know the how, the when, the what, and the where. But let me give you a quick update. Don Lemon has been released without bail. He appeared today in court in front of a judge, and he does have to return on February 9th in a Minneapolis court. Okay. So that's where he will get to find out what his fate is, February 9th in Minneapolis. But here's the thing. We talked about this in great detail last week. We had 2 dedicated segments, maybe 3. In the first segment, when the shit hit the fan, let's just be honest. In the first segment, when the shit hit the fan, y'all showed up. We hosted a live, and I'm going to hurry up because this tonight, what I want to do with this live on Friday night, I know some of y'all are at happy hours. Some of y'all are at home. Your nerves are bad and you're having a dirty martini like me, or you're having a Coca-Cola, whatever you're having. I'm going to say what I need to say. And then I want this to be a dedicated call-in, not a dedicated panel. That's different. Panel is where the same people, a call-in. A call-in is where I take you, you share your thoughts, I drop you down, I take the next caller. That's what we're doing, okay? Got it? I had a suspicion last week. This is like, first I had a suspicion. Literally the same day that Nicki Minaj called for Don Lemon to be arrested. I said, Don, I think they're going to come for you. Let me play it. And then we'll continue from there, if that's okay. Now, this particular live, I take that back. I predicted this 11 days ago. 11 days ago. Let's see if I can get it. Or intimidate people to prevent them from exercising their God-given rights. Hermit Dillon. The Klan Act is one of the most important. Hold on, let me pull it up. One of the most important. Whoa. Federal civil rights statutes. It's a law that makes it illegal to terrorize and violate the civil rights of citizens. This is just me repeating. 11 days ago, what they said the DOJ was going to do to Don. Let's continue. 11 days ago, this was me. Whenever people conspire this, the Klan Act can be used. Everyone in the protest community needs to know that the fullest force of federal government is going to come down and prevent this from happening and put people away for a long time. Don, let me tell you this. They're not going to play nice with you. They're not going to play nice with you for a number of reasons. They'll take Nicki over you today, and they will put you up and lock you up because they can. Okay, this isn't, hey, this isn't a fair game. I see you. This isn't a fair game here. So let me tell you what to do, Dawn. Somebody clip this out at the 1 hour mark. You need to book the first thing smoking. Get the hell up out of here. That's it. That's all. That was my recommendation. 11 days ago. Give or take. Here we are on the 12th day. They silenced him. They got him at the Grammys. Actually after the Grammys. He was at an after party. We got some of the footage, not of him being arrested, but just some of his whereabouts, right? And this seems very personal. The reason why I say it seems personal, to my knowledge, keep me honest, Well, we know it's personal. Let's be clear. Shit. Let's not, we just gonna come in this thing head on. To my knowledge, there were a number of reporters, bloggers, journalists out tracking this thing, reporting on the protests, right? But if my memory serves me correct, there's only been 4 Black journalists arrested. Keep me honest if you know different. If you know any different. Now, here's the problem. We talked about this 11 days ago. Y'all said, why Don? Why would they go after Don when all of the journalists are out there? When all of the journalists are doing what they need to do? And I try to make it make sense to those of you. It's about power. It's about dominance. It's about control. And can I just say this? What you're experiencing is a small bite of dictatorship. Just a small bite. Have you ever gone out to dinner? You weren't sure if you wanted to order something. And you said, let me just try a small bite because I don't want to commit to it yet. I may not like it. Well, that small bite of what you're witnessing is called a dictatorship in the making. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Now, let's get back to your question. Why Dawn? I said, I'll tell you why. It's called the Left Behind series for those of you that are readers. I think it was book number 4 or book number 5 when they talk about the Antichrist, and when he comes, he will start to control the media. Call it conspiracy theory, call it whatever you need to call it, call it. And then they say in the book, they talk about how in the last days, quote unquote, right? I'm playing devil's advocate. And let me thank you, Linda. It was book number 5. So book number 5. Thank you. Toot, stand down. Let them have a good time. See, this is an adult conversation. Everybody's welcome with their different opinions, right? And I'm damn sure gonna give mine. Y'all wanted to know, well, why are they picking on Don? I said it's about dominance. It's about control. It's about power. Don used to work for CNN. Not a big deal. They let him go. They didn't like his behavior. They didn't feel like it was a good fit with the network. And he was released. I don't think anybody expected Don to bounce back the way he did at the rate that he did. And he took off. He took off. And y'all don't let everybody have their own opinions as long as they're respectful. And he took off. I got to take my hats off to him. He's done a hell of a job. He's his own boss. Freedom of speech. Really freedom of speech. So the problem is not that other journalists were out there covering it. It's the fact that he was one of the first ones out there. He had breaking news. He got the interview. Typically for situations like that, think about war zones. You have corporations, you have entities, you have media outlets that get to handpick the face of their brand and send them off. Send them off to cover this big story. Don doesn't have to play those games anymore. Don said himself, and Don, this is where I think you went wrong. I think you disclosed a little bit too much. Don said himself that he received a call and got a heads up what was about to go down. That part I would have never shared with the public. That part, me personally, I would have never shared with the public. And I think that's what pissed off. Because typically it's us that gets the inside scoop. It's us that gets to get ahead of this thing and kill it before it grows legs, especially if the pastor is a senior director for ICE, quote unquote. Hell no, we don't want Don Lemon sharing that piece of information. We would like one of our own who can get in there, navigate this thing, and brush it over. And brush it over. That's why it's Don Lemon. because you have a particular group of people that like to be the first to win. A lot of you have been conditioned that you all are DEI hires, that you all are not equipped. Your brains are not formulated to be able to operate at that capacity. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what they say. What Trump and his homeboys, Elon, that's what they're saying. And lo and behold, you mean to tell me Don Lemon has his black ass as boots on the ground, walking his black ass into a predominantly white church where one of our main homeboys, one of my main boys is in there? Oh, you gonna pay for this. And I don't give a damn what the Constitution says. You gonna pay for this. Oh, hell no. And not only are you going to pay for it, I am going to use your protection against you. I'm going to call it the Ku Klux Klan Act, and I'm going to charge your black ass with a civil rights crime. Sound familiar? Oh, yeah. I'm going to jack you up psychologically. I'm going to jack you up mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And not only that, I really don't have to go that far with you. Just by me locking you up, charging you with the federal offense, right, will mess with your mind because now I'm here. And every time you open your mouth and every time you think you have inside information, it's going to cause you to second guess how you move. And now I've introduced an element to the game called fear. And even if you do it, I'm still here psychologically, an element called fear. And if you do it again, and Dawn, I told you, if I were you, I would be on the first thing smoking. I would be on the first thing smoking. Now, you can assume, Dawn, I don't know anything because my brain, as an African American woman, whatever I'm labeled, I have to check off on the box. I'm just saying, my brain is not formulated to think I can't even measure up. So, hell, I might just be a fucking DEI hire. But let me say this, just in case I'm not. If I were you, Don, we announced it at the beginning of the live that he's been released. Welcome to those of you that are just pulling up. If I were you, Don, I would assume they've already had an inside look at all of my personal emails, my professional emails, my texts, my phones. If I were you, I would assume they can track me anytime they want. They're looking, they're watching, they've already combed through your stuff. I mean, who am I? I told you to leave last week, 11 days ago. I said, they're going to arrest you. I would assume they're taking a look or have taken a look at your financials. My recommendation still stands. You can work from anywhere in the world. I said it today. I'll say it again. If I were you, and this is not something he can do what he wants. No, he can't. No, he can't. And neither can you. Well, don't say that I'm saying it. It's happening right before your eyes, whether you like it or not. You saw the journalist, the other journalist who was arrested. You saw the ICE guy peeking through her window like a fucking scary movie. Scared the crap out of me. Scared the crap out of me. I was like, is that a man peeking through? Oh, hell no. So you can assume they know what you're working with financially. You can assume that they'll probably try to hem you up financially. And if you don't be a good boy, Don, they'll do to you what they did to Farrakhan, ban you from all public platforms. You remember I said hem you up financially so that you aren't able to make money. But here's my recommendation. Here's my recommendation. You should have took a vacation 10, 11 days ago. Should have taken a vacation. But now you can't because you need to be here for jail. I mean, not jail. I'm sorry. You need to be here for court. I would have to take a look at some nice condos in either Latin America or a beautiful place in Africa. And I would get that set up. And one apartments in these foreign countries, you have to have proof of income. So of course you're going to have to open up a bank account. It's only right if you're purchasing property there Uh-huh. And that's what I would do. Because the same thing that makes you laugh today, for those of you in the chat, will make you cry tomorrow when they come knocking at your door. Same thing that makes you laugh will make you cry. This is just a taste. This is just an appetizer of the next years. I'm not scared, and I hope you aren't. But I just want to give you a glimpse of what that looks like for one of the other journalists who was also arrested alongside Don Lemon. Let's take a look. So her name is Georgia Fort. She went live. She went live. Now, I want you to notice the propaganda. The reason why I'm bringing up this one first, this is the New York Post, and this is how they wrote the article. Journalist who allegedly stormed Minnesota church with Don Lemon and dozens more live streamers are arrested. Stormed with Don. So automatically I said, okay, New York Post, I know who they're associated with. Not because I agree, not because I disagree. Listen, I don't have a dog in this fight. But when you sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight, you're able to identify very quickly when people talk, when they write, when they journal, when they article, when they blog. So automatically, by the choice of words that the New York Post has chosen to use, I said, bingo, boom. I know where your checks come from. Okay. Other news media outlets, maybe, maybe not. Some of them are on the side of caution, some not so much. Some of them, you clearly know where they stand. But as it relates to the New York Post, I just want to put this in front of you all, just in case you didn't know. Okay? Now, you say, well, what can we do? It depends on where you sit. Do we have any lemon heads in the chat? Do we have any lemon heads in the chat? If so, drop a lemon. Drop a lemon if you are indeed a bona fide lemon head. I'll make this thing fair. I'm going to show you how to work it. Drop a microphone if you're Team Nicki Minaj. And then drop a flag if you stand for the right. So we got lemon heads, drop a mic if you represent Nicki, and drop a flag if you stand with the right. And I'm going to tell you how to work this thing from all sides. See, I know how to listen. All right, if you are a lemon head and you are not pleased with how they're representing Don, then me personally, I wouldn't support the New York Post if I were a lemon head. I wouldn't click on the articles. I wouldn't purchase it. I wouldn't buy it, me personally. If I were Team Nicki Minaj or Team Right, I would support the New York Post. I would click on the articles. I would make sure they get the viewership. I would ensure they get the engagement. And I would go as far as leaving a comment in the chat, period. You see how fair reporting is done? You picking up what I'm putting down? That's it. That's all. That's how you do that. And I'm being very careful because I want to. Because I don't want to be, oh, you stand for this. You don't know what I stand for. All you know is that I'm doing my commentary. Now, let's take a look of what really happened to Georgia Fort. Now, Georgia, this was pretty scary. Here we go.
Well, this is really scary. There's kids in the house. You guys have not been really friendly in the community. And to me, this seems a little, can I finish, sir? Can I finish? Can I finish?
Get your phone.
This seems a little bit aggressive to have all these cars in our cul-de-sac.
All right. They bombarded them, pulled up. There's strength in numbers. That's a fear tactic. This is an independent journalist, just like Dawn. Her name is Georgia Fort. She was arrested by federal agents this morning, early this morning, after filming anti-ICE protests at the city's church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, she's amongst some of the journalists that Attorney General Pam Bondi claims were part of the coordinated attack, hence the civil rights crime. Are y'all following? Connected to demonstrations. So they said, we don't give a damn if you were there, quote unquote, covering the protests. As far as we're concerned, can we talk like adults? Can we talk like adults? Let me ask you a question. In spite of who you support, could it be the reason they were charged with the crime is because they entered the church opposed to just covering the protest? Let me ask you that. Yes or no? Have you considered that? Yes or no? Does it even matter? Yes or no? And how does one determine when a crime has been committed? Is it when you enter into the church? Hey, you went too far. We really don't have a problem with you out here doing your journalist thing. But to enter the church and disrupt the service, yeah, we're going to call that a civil rights act because maybe, I don't know, y'all, I'm just asking. I got to represent all sides. Because if you have these people that are in the middle of worship, and you storm in, now they're co-workers. They're being identified as being a particular religion. Now they're being identified as being associated with ICE, which may or may not be true. Did the journalists or could the journalists have crossed the line, not because they protested, not because they documented, but because they entered the church? Or is this just bullshit? They're looking for a reason. I'm asking. I don't have a dog in this fight. Do you think we would be in this predicament today? Because I've seen it over social media. I'm here to get the dialogue moving. Do you think we would be in this situation had the journalists waited until the parishioners came out and said, hey, we're here? Would it have been any different for those of you that are tuned in? That's a yes, and that's a no. Some of you are saying, BS, that's bullshit. Some people are saying, no, it would not have been any different. Okay, let's continue.
2, 3 agents, and now I saw the one disappear to the back. So to me, this is a little aggressive to just serve a warrant. Slide the warrant. Let me see the warrant.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that.
So you can tell she's scared. This is a journalist. She decides to go live for safety reasons. Here we go. And let me be honest. Now I'm going to insert my opinion. I don't blame her. Considering the killing of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Yeah, I would have gone live too. Even if I was surrendering at this point, listen, this is what's happening. I don't blame her.
Agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press. Because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I got to go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
That was a good call. That was a good call on her mom or whoever that was. Go ahead and go now before they kick open the door. We know we have kids in here. Go ahead and go now, right? Before it's mayhem. Go ahead and surrender. You did your live. Go ahead and go. Because what we don't want is another casualty for whatever reason. I agree, Desira. Very smart of the older woman in the home to say, let's go. Sorry, sir. We'll be right out. Okay. And it seems like that's probably the best practice to implement should you decide to protest or should you decide to go out and cover anything. And if they come for you, what I mean by the best strategy, the best practice is to go ahead and be compliant. Because at this point, it's a dog fight out there. Now, my question to those of you that are tuned in, did Georgia Fort enter the church? Because what I'm looking for is a pattern. If Georgia did not enter the church and Don entered the church and the other two journalists who were African-American were arrested, did not enter the church, then this is a witch hunt. It's all over the place. But if all four, I'm trying to be fair. Let's just say, and I'm about to play the video of the people in the church. Let's just say if all four entered the church, could that be the reason that it appears they're being singled out? Now, I do believe Don Lemon's arrest is personal. I don't believe anybody would have been arrested had Don Lemon not shown up to the protest. That's just my personal belief. That's just my personal belief. I think he packs a punch. I think he's a good commentator. I think he's an excellent journalist. And I think people know that, right, wrong, or indifferent. And nobody wants that type of smoke. So I might as well put out your fire, period, point blank. If I can control who gets to run with the breaking news, the main stories, it wouldn't be you. And since it was, I'm going to make a big deal out of it, and I'm going to make an example out of you. And for those of you that are just coming in, we are aware. We covered it a little bit early, and we did announce it that Don was released at the beginning of the live. Now.
So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the act.
This is Don inside of the church.
But we're here just reporting on them. Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there's someone here in Easterwood, someone who is a member of ICE and he's a pastor of the church.
So this is the part where I think they may not have liked the fact that Don was the first to break the news that the Easterwood guy, who's a pastor of the church, is also a senior director at ICE. This is where I think shit got messy. Now, for those of you that are tuned in, I know he came in afterwards, but the fact is, could it be the fact that he's in there and the fact that he said, yeah, hey, listen, and he's interviewing. Listen. Could it be that's what set them off? Easterwood, he's a senior director in ICE. Could that be it? And let me ask y'all something. Whether he came in afterwards, first, last, third, or fourth, does this look to be disruptive in a church? Just watch.
Our church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday. We asked them to leave, and Obviously have not lived.
So this is what
Is this disruptive? Or you know what? That's not a good question. Let me put it this way. This Sunday, you're worshiping. And hundreds of protesters storm in your church in the middle of service. Don't worry about the journalist. Don't worry about the journalist. Would it be considered disruptive to you? As a person, not the one that's storming in, but the one who's inside, coming to connect with the Lord, God, the Almighty. Would this be disruptive to you, to your children, to the daycare, to the people in the church who didn't expect something like this, who don't know, who's having to hunker down, lock the doors, wait for instruction that all is clear? Would that be considered disruptive? Listen, it don't matter what side you stand on. That's a yes or a no. Either it's a yes or it's a no. And if you don't go to church, would it be considered disruptive if you attend a mosque? If you attend whatever it is you attend? That's before we even get to, okay, so we're just level setting. Okay, Dr. Hicks said disruptive, yes. Criminal, no. So I think most of you can agree it is somewhat disruptive. Criminal, could it be considered a violation of the Civil Rights Act? I mean, not the civil, could it be considered a crime, a civil rights crime? The KKK Act of 1871, let's read it. The Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, also known as the Civil Rights Act. Oh, I was right. The Third Enforcement Act is an act of the United States Congress signed into law by President Ulysses Grant. It was designed to enforce the provisions of the 14th Amendment, which granted equal protection and rights to newly freed African Americans in the South. Oh, interesting. Let's continue. The law was highly effective in the short term, essentially destroying the first incarnation of the KKK by 1872. It says the act remains legally significant today. Section 1983 has become the foundational statute for suing state and local officials for civil rights violations. Hold on. This is so the act was designed, y'all, in large part. Watch this. When I say you have to be careful, because people will start to use the things that were designed for you against you. So the act was designed to protect Blacks, African Americans, from Klan violence during the Reconstruction period, giving those deprived of a constitutional right by someone acting under color of law the right to seek relief in a federal district or court or circuit court. I'm sorry. Do y'all think this fits what Dawn did and the other are accused of doing? Do you think it fits the Civil Rights Act? Is there a conflict of interest between being a journalist and having a First Amendment right? The right to free speech. And part of that is capturing the news today and delivering responsibly and accurately to the world, even if your pastor is a senior director at ICE. Does the church need to know that? Does the public need to know that? And is it considered a crime if you have a journalist that you don't like who happens to be Black that gets there first? That's all I'm asking. Let's continue.
What? So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the activist.
Okay. So I would say at that point when somebody's yelling in the background, shut the F up. Now it's becoming disruptive. Now I would be a little concerned, right, wrong, or indifferent.
But we're here just reporting on them. Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there's someone here in Easterwood, someone who is
It's mayhem. Well, he paid for it. They arrested him.
Last night, federal agents arrested journalist Don Lemon in Los Angeles after he recently covered protest activities in Minnesota. Once again, the administration is behaving no differently from police states and authoritarian regimes across history. They've arrested a journalist for the crime of doing his job. And let's be very clear, this arrest is not just about one journalist in one incident. The arrest is a dark message to journalists everywhere. If you dare criticize this administration, watch your back. That's not a democracy. That's a police state. And that is pure authoritarian bile. Democracy will suffer if the government chokes our civil liberties. Under this administration, the Department of Justice has all too often become the Department of Vengeance. Don Lemon should be released at once and the frivolous charges against him dropped. Last night, federal...
And that's from CBS News, you guys. So Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement that she shared to social media that federal agents did indeed arrest Don Lemon and 3 others in connection with the coordinated attacks on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Some people believe because it was coordinated by Blacks that it's considered an attack. And because the ones that really got the breaking news were Black, that it's considered an attack. That's what they're saying. I will say this. Nicki Minaj, you're playing a very dangerous game. You're playing a very dangerous game. Candace Owens believes that Charlie Kirk was assassinated from the inside, by the inside. Even though he was used by the inside, propped up, promoted, celebrated. Candace Owens believes that when they were done with him, and she shared that they got rid of him. And he was a Christian advocate, Nikki. He was doing the Lord's work, Nikki. Similar to yourself. If what Candace believes is true, Nikki, that they would do this to a good, wholesome, white American boy, my prayers are with you. My prayers are with you, young lady. And I'm going to leave that there. Because even if they don't, Nikki, hold on. Even if they don't, I believe that you are being used for something. You don't get $1 million from people, y'all, just because you show up to talk. That's smoke and mirrors. They don't need Nicki Minaj to show up and talk. They could have found somebody bigger, better, more articulate, more influence. My question is, what information have you shared? What have you given up in exchange for safety? Or what you perceive to be safe? Because as you can see, the rules change every day. You know, people think they have a freedom of speech. Voila, they don't. People think that because they not. We're killing nurses. We're shooting veterans. She's not token to me. She's not token at all. She don't fit the bill. And when I consider the billionaires and the millionaires that are being snatched down left and right, the Diddies, the names that have come up in the trial, the legal fights and the legal battles. There was a turf war between Diddy and DeLeon. There was a global turf war that many people are not aware of. It was over money. It was over enterprise. It was over market value, market share. But that's not a portion of the information that you receive through mainstream media. It was way bigger than a freak off. But they gave you the freak off as an appetizer because they know as average Americans, you're very easy to please. And we'll just hide it in front of you in plain sight. Did he do it? Absolutely. He did it. Do they have all of the information? Absolutely. But is that the reason why they took him down? No. Because if you sat in that courtroom, when they start to go through the numbers and the data, and they start talking about market share, and the CFOs started to testify of the billions of dollars that were being exchanged, and then the deals and the contracts that were broken, you'd be like, oh my God. And then they were cross-examined. So you mean to tell me, can I ask you? They're asking that, would this be considered a turf war? Yes, there was a turf war. Okay. Nikki, there is a turf war going on. And there's a lot of boulets at the top that have a lot of money. You've seen the names. You've seen the lawsuits float through lately. You see the names, the Tyler Perrys, the Jay-Z's, the Diddy's. Money, power, and respect. And the quickest way to bring a man down, sex, drugs, and alcohol. That's his weak spot. Especially if he's not married, like Diddy. But if he's married, depends. Now, Jay-Z's name came up. So did Beyonce's in that Diddy trial. A lot of people don't report on it because nobody wants to be canceled. Nobody wants to talk about it. But I got a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion somebody's sniffing around their yard. Their name came up after the trial. If you go look at the Southern District of New York, I'm going to point you down a rabbit hole. Pay attention. Write this down. Fat Joe was accused of trafficking, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Are you listening? Jay-Z's name was brought up. Go look at the documents. That Jay-Z funded the operation. Look at the documents. Jay-Z was paying for the apartments for the young girls, flying them off, putting them up in condos, booking the flights under his dime. Maybe not his name, maybe not his account, but his money. Trafficking. The Harvey Weinsteins, the Jeffrey Epsteins, the Diddy's of them all, the Jay-Z's of them all. I gave you the information. Go look. Now, Nikki, we know that you're in a big fight with Rock Nation. Big fight with Tidal. Is it Tidal or is it what is it? Was it Tidal? Yeah. Listen, everybody's fighting to control what you get access to. The Kendrick Lamars, the Drakes, accusing the radio stations of rigging the numbers because I want my message, my rap song. I want to control the message that they receive. I want to determine which artists go first, which ones have to clamor and beg and whatever. It's a fight for money, power, and respect. And I know you're in a big fight with Jay-Z. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there in front of Erica Kirk, whose husband was recently murdered, assassinated. You're sitting there with Donald Trump in a room full of people. It was very disturbing to me. And I remember, not because you were there, it was disturbing to me because you don't belong there. And I remember looking at the video. Hey, girl, if you like it, I love it. And I commented. I said, Nikki, they're not laughing with you. They are laughing at you. They are laughing at you. You know you don't belong there. And they know you don't belong there. But I'm savvy enough, contrary to popular belief, against Charlie Kirk, Elon Musk. I know they don't think that Black women have brains to think. And Nikki, these are the same people that you're peacocking for. You're walking into these rooms and they're laughing. And I'm telling you, Sister Queen, Miss Nicki Minaj, Roman, whomever you are today, tomorrow, They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. And if I didn't know any better, I would say you dropped a dime on somebody. You don't get a gold card. You don't get immigration status changed overnight because you sat down and said some stupid shit with Erica Kirk that didn't make any sense about little white girls with blue eyes. Girl, this is a room full of politicians. They don't cut $1 million checks for nothing. What you give up? Who did you give up? Huh? What'd you give up? What have they been looking for? And I finally oddly suspicious that a day or two after you got your card, Dawn was arrested. You don't get to sit at those types of tables and not know anything. And as a matter of fact, I would beg to say that in those kind of rooms, they want you to know. They want you to know. And not because they love you and not because they like you, because now you become a liability. Oh, yeah, let her know. We're going to arrest him. Provide her with as much information as possible. And that's where the control comes in and the dominance and the power. And you will bow down one way or the other, voluntarily or involuntarily. So now you owe me a favor when I ask for one, in addition to you dropping a dime on whoever you dropped it on, allegedly. But just know the fact that you have that inside scoop and you have that information that you were privy to, I can come knocking on your door anytime I want, night or day. I can bypass your security system anytime I want, night or day. I can deport you and leave your son here anytime I want, night or day, because he was born here. You weren't. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, because you owe me one. You owe me one. And not because you dropped a dime, but I put you in front of some very powerful people. And Nikki, that's why I say I don't really think you understand how this thing works. But peace be unto you. And they say you was up in the White House, girl. Talking about you bees in the trap. I don't think you know that that has a double meaning. But I have to agree with you. I think you were definitely in a trap. Let's take a look. When was the last time you've seen a room full of white male billionaires, political gurus give a standing ovation to a bitch from the Bronx?
They forgot I was here now. They came in for Trump.
Still love you, Mr. President.
Where did that go fast?
It reminds me of Black Mirror. It reminds me of a twisted episode of Black Mirror. I think you might fuck around and find out. And listen, her and Don Lemon, that's their thing. They've been having a thing before I covered this thing, but I will say this. Ooh, Nikki. It wasn't until you say arrest that thug that thug was arrested. It wasn't until you said lock him up that they locked him up. Now, when have you seen Donald Trump follow the orders of anybody? Never, ever. Never, ever, ever. But it's giving the illusion that you're a very powerful Black woman. And one thing about power, either people respect it or they fear it, whether it's the inner circle or those on the outside looking in. And it's my hope that you sober up real soon, because I think you were playing a very dangerous game. And I think the same thing that makes you laugh will make you cry, and you're laughing today. And they're giving you exactly what you wanted. And that's fine. But are you ready to pay the price for the cost of the gold card, the cost of fame, the $1 million that they put in your pocket, which some people believe allotted you the opportunity to get yourself out of being stuck between a rock and a hard place because they said you were in arrears as it relates to a $500,000 judgment. I'm just asking. It wasn't until you said it that it was executed. Now, either you're that powerful or somebody's setting you up to make you look that powerful. But either way, I wouldn't want to be in your position at all. Not today, not tomorrow. Because if you understand the game, the house always wins. The house always wins, even if it's the White House. You get what I'm saying? The house. Typically, when you hear that, people relate that phrase to Vegas. The house always wins. Now, I'm going to open up the lines for those of you that have been itching for a scratch to come on up here and speak your piece. But before I do, I want to share with you Don Lemon's statement. He was just released. Let's see what he had to say.
So look, I want to thank everybody for their support. It truly means the world to me. I have no idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen anything. I have spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silent. I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all. So look, I want to.
All right. And before I open up the lines, this is what Nikki had to say after her visit to the White House regarding Don Lemon.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Sucker, stop.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Sucker, stop.
All right. That's it. That's all. I'm going to open up the lines. Here are the rules. You get 45 seconds. I have to be fair. If you are not done in 45 seconds, I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to move on. Even if you're trying to squeeze it in, I got to keep the lines moving. I got to make sure everybody that wants to call in, they get to call in. I love you. I'm going to let you cook, but it's on you to hold your, I'm going to have to. My moderators, I need your help. I'm going to need a timekeeper. If I ask you to stay, hang out with me. I'll tell you to hang out with me. If I feel like I want to hear more from you or you're on to something and I'm waiting. If you brought up something that's very interesting and I want to circle back. If not, I'm going to drop you down. It's not a panel. Everybody will get to go without being interrupted. Okay? Everybody will get to go without being interrupted and just drop yourselves down automatically. That's it. That's all. And maybe nobody wants to talk. Maybe people are just so freaking upset. They're like, you know what, Queen? I don't want to do it today. And that's fine too. Because we've been on a live for almost an hour. So I'll see if there's anybody that would like to get in on this conversation. All points of view are welcome. We ask that you keep it respectful. That's it. That's all. All right. I'm going to bring up our first caller. Pan. Welcome, Pan. What are your thoughts?
Peace, and thanks for having me up. I'll keep it very brief. Hopefully, this Don Lemon arrest is a lesson to all Black Americans and mulatto Americans to stay out the way and allow the whites and the immigrants to advocate for themselves. This has nothing to do with us. Let the whites and the immigrants receive their karma, since law enforcement has been utilized, really weaponized against us. We should never cry now that these same exact law enforcement agencies are being weaponized against the whites and the immigrants. Really, that's all I had to say.
All right. That's Pan. He said what he said. Thank you for coming up, Pan. That's it. I like it. Straight to the point, standing on business, and we welcome all diverse opinions here. Welcome all the way from London. Catch up with Lala. Lala, what you got?
Hello, Queen. I just have to say this is madness. My point is this is all about intimidating journalists, making them censor themselves out of fear of consequences. It's about ensuring that freedom of press is no longer free. And all I can say, they will beat this because the charges don't make sense and it doesn't seem like a charges that would stick, in my opinion. And Nicki Minaj, I think she's finished. She's done for. Just remember, in the Donald Trump's first term, what happened with Kanye West. Now, where is Kanye West? Exactly. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for having me.
All right, Lala. Thank you for coming up and
You.
sharing. All right. So look, that's Lala, y'all. She's gonna drop down, and I'm gonna go to the next caller. Welcome, LaDon Calhoun. LaDon, welcome. What are your thoughts?
Okay, Queen, we've been knowing each other long enough. We on Ladon now. No more Calhoun, okay?
All right. Well, hell, take it
Okay.
off your damn name.
I don't know how. Shoot, I had trouble
I got
putting
you.
it on.
I got it.
I'm learning. So I just want to say, thank God he's free. But I just want to say with Nikki, her and her mouth, she got a nerve telling somebody what something goes in somebody's mouth when her brother's in jail from crotch snatching and her husband is a registered ex-offender. She got a real nerve. She need to be worrying about not leaving her child with his own father. Okay. But I do think that it was a disruption, but not on the press part. And I think it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think Dawn and the other ones will come out okay. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you, LaDon. All right. I'm going to let you drop down. All right. Coco. Coco, you got 45. Let's see what you can do with 45 seconds. Welcome back.
Hey, okay, so Black people been saying that they resting and they staying out of it every single day, every 2 seconds on the internet, like nobody didn't hear them the first 1,000 times they said it. I would like for Black people who do not live in Minnesota to actually do that and stop talking so much. How about mind your business on the internet? We didn't need you to tell us to stay home. We are, and ICE is after all of us niggas here. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Coco. Thank you. We appreciate it. Is there anybody else? I can give it a few moments for any. Listen, don't be scared. You see, you have uninterrupted space to speak your mind. Get it off your chest. Because listen, let me tell you something. Don't go to bed with this. It's been a long day. It's been a long day for all of us. I mean, let me just say this. Donna, I want you to go, Dania. So, Dania, your device is not connected. This is what you have to do. I can see you backstage, but I can't bring you on. Exit out the live. And then before you come in, adjust your audio, click the settings, do your audio, make sure your camera, whatever you want it on or off, and hit enter studio. And then it'll connect your device. But if you come in and you try to adjust, it's not going to let you connect. So, Dania will hold a space for you. Same thing for you, B1963. I can't bring you up yet. Go out of studio, connect devices, come back. Nick, your girl, you got 45. What can you do for 45?
Hey, I just want to say real quick. I know a lot of people feel that the immigrants should be handling whatever. I just want to say that I was not born here. And everybody needs to be mindful. No land is limited to old the immigrants or let the immigrants fight. God is not limiting or setting anybody apart. This land belongs to everybody, and no black person should say, let them figure it out, because it will affect us eventually. That's all I have to say.
All right. Nick and Knight. That's all she had to say. T Kazi, Kim, you got 45 seconds. What you working with?
Yes. Tell Nikki to Google Marjorie Green from ATL. What Trump did to her. That's it.
All right. That's it. That's all. That was Kim. Grace, welcome. We're fast around here, y'all. Grace, you got 45 seconds. Shake it fast. Show me what you're working with. Simone Wealthy, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even hear. It was silent. Okay. First, Don and the other journalists, I'm glad that they are all out. But this is a time that is going to be very scary, but we are going to need more on the ground, people, boots on the ground, when it comes to journalism, because legacy media can't be trusted. They're ran by, they've already given in to, the president. And as far as, uh, protesting and those things. Yeah, I do think it's time for, let the others protest, let the white people, let them go out there and protest, let them be out there, boots on the ground doing that. But I do think we need to definitely observe and be very supportive from the background, whatever that may look like. And as far as, the Nikki, the PDF file lover, she's no worse than Kanye. They are one and the same. They two sides of the same coin. Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. Thank you, Simone Wealthy. Thank you. Albert Maya, cállate la boca. Shut your mouth. Taco Bueno, you shut your mouth. All right, B, you're still not connected. Yeah, if you come in this motherfucker trying to put down people because of their race, you a whole taco. You a whole taco. What makes you think you can come in here and spew racial slurs and walk away? So go ahead and get his name so I can let his job know what he's up to. Actually, I got it. I screenshotted it already. Let me show you how to play this game. You want to play a game? Let me show you how to do it. Albert Maya. Watch this, Albert. I guarantee you get called in by next Wednesday. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Albert. Love you. Love ya. Tricks are for kids.
I was waiting on you at the door.
Oh yeah, Albert. You took the bait. You saw a bunch of black people and you're Hispanic. And you thought you were going to come over here. You about to fuck around and find out. You just watch. You said it's a bunch. You don't know what we are. You don't know. You just assumed. Watch this. Watch this. And I got your photo. All right, who's next? Told you to keep it player over here. Keep it player. Keep it player. He thought our brains. See, you've been listening to all that stuff, all that. They don't have. Yeah, I got you. I had to screenshot you first before I addressed you. I had to let you go so I can show your boss. So I can show your boss what you're working with. Oh yeah. And the good part is I don't even have to send it next week. I can send it when I want to send it because it's timeless. Doesn't matter if I send it next year, as long as they get it. The same punishment. Welcome, B, 1963. What you got?
Hey, Queen. I have a couple things I want to say. I know earlier in your video, you asked the question. I think you said, why did you made the statement that maybe he should leave. And I was just wondering, I don't know if I missed that part because I kind of left the reason why you feel that way he should leave. You saying leave the country or leave and go somewhere else to cool off or what?
I said it I said it almost 2 weeks ago.
You did, right. But I
Okay,
can't remember what, okay.
let me play it again for you. Yeah. I just had a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion that it was going to get real ugly real quick.
Yeah, you did say that the other week. I heard that part, but
Yep.
okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me play it. I got it queued up. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
All right, here we go. Now, Albert, I'm very disappointed in you because right now there's war being declared on your people by the Trump administration. He is hauling Latin Americans up out of here. Even people that, may have been born here and you come on here to troll Black people. You should be concerned about your own. That's all I'm going to say. You would think that you would get yourself together and make sure your family and your affairs are in order. Because as you can see, there's no sense of normalcy. And just things are just happening. Left, right, front and back. Find somebody else. Find you something safe to do before I pull a Nicki Minaj and go tell on you. Find you something safe to do. Before I tweet that you should be locked that thug up and pretend that I'm a diehard Trump supporter. You see how quick that worked? She did that 2 weeks ago. So right now, Black chicks are winning. You might want to sit this one out. All right, let's go, B. I got off topic, but here I am. I'm back.
You're good.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Here we go. Did you hear my reason?
No, it was I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. You couldn't hear that?
No, I could
Y'all
see
couldn't
it, but
hear
I couldn't
that?
hear.
Oh, crap. Okay, mute up, B. They said they couldn't hear it. Hold on. Man, let's try it again. Here we go. Let me try it again. Here we go. Let's try it again. Come down and prevent this from happening and put people away for a long time. Dawn, let me tell you this. They're not going to play nice with you. They're not going to play nice with you for a number of reasons. They'll take Nikki over you today, and they will put you up and lock you up because they can. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
And you're right. You did say that. Even you said earlier, but Gwen, I was
no,
thinking
I
when
said because they can.
because they can.
Your question is why. I said because they can.
Okay.
See, white people understand power. Black people, Hispanics, other minorities don't. White people understand power because they've held it a long time. They do it because they can. Even when it doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
Yes, and I get that. And I guess I was thinking when you made that statement, I thought, well, what about Dr. King? He was locked up so many times. What if he had a ran or left? And at this point, Queen.
No, that's a
Okay.
different day. We did not have a dictatorship. That was completely different. Times have changed. You are now entered into the book of Revelations. The rules you have a president that flew to, first of all, that killed the power in a country, swooped down like an eagle, took a man and his wife who are another president and brought him here to the United States of America to face trial. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do, and it makes a lot of sense. But I guess I was still thinking, and maybe this is just my thought. Yeah, we are in a different time. Even back then, because I was like, I think 5 years old when Dr. King was killed. But even then,
Mm-hmm.
they stood up, Queen. I guess that's what I'm saying.
No.
But I know what you're saying. This is a different time, a dictatorship, and they can't do it just because they can. But at some point, somebody got to stand up, Queen. That's what I'm
We've stood
thinking.
up. Those days are over. We've stood up. You're here. You have a right to vote. You got all of that. We stood up. We did all of that. Here's the thing, and I'm not knocking you. It's done.
Okay.
It's done.
Mm,
It's a wrap. You got a
okay.
person. You can't go back. You gotta operate in this game of chess. It don't matter if your dad was a great chess player, i.e. Martin Luther King. It doesn't matter if my uncle was a great chess player, i.e. Malcolm X. You see what it got them? Assassinated.
Whew. Yeah, you're right.
Assassinated. So the goal, when I say be on the first thing smoking, is not to stand down, but to stand up somewhere else where you can get numbers behind you. Go to Africa. Go to
Okay.
Africa, where you can be a great journalist and still cover what's going on in the US. Just go there for a little bit. Go to a Latin American country. Get some numbers behind you. Go find his ops. He got your ops. They came and picked you up. Go find his ops. Line up with them. That's what I'm saying. That's it.
Okay. And so then what? Then what are we to do now? Or what, at this point?
You
I
hit them
guess I'm
where it
just like,
hurts. You hit the pockets. And I don't know what point of the
that's
live
true.
you came in. I said, if you are a Don Lemon supporter, look at the media outlets, look at the words and the descriptions that they're using in their headlines, and you can tell a lot from listening.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm a lemon head, I'm not supporting the New York Post. If I'm a lemon head, but if I'm a Nicki Minaj team, I will. Or if I'm a right side, I'm going to the New York Post, right? Because they don't like Don. This is we're playing chess now.
Okay.
And listen, it's an equal playing field when you play chess, because only the strongest intellect wins. You can't out philosophize me. You can't outmaneuver me. If I don't say shit, you can't attack it. Dawn said a little bit. Dawn said, I'm gonna be at the Grammys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at the Grammys. Dawn said, I got inside information that something was going to go down. I wouldn't have said that much. Nobody
Yeah.
would have known none of that. Nobody would have known I got a call. All they would have known is I was there for breaking news. So what do we do? There's really nothing you can do but sit back and watch. Let Don call his friends to help him. They got him. He's receiving free legal support. You're gonna support him. What you can do is continue to watch his YouTube to make sure that the money stays in his pocket, that he's getting those views and those clicks. But Don is going to have to put in an exit strategy. You can't do that for him. Only thing you can do is support his next best move. He's gonna have to call the shots. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
Only thing you can do is support his next. Okay. I'm gonna drop you down. I think you're something started playing in the background. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's all we got. I don't think we have any more callers. I know y'all are going toe to toe in the chat. I like a good fight over here. What's Susan saying? Susan, what are you saying? Whoever you are, I don't know, but I hear everybody telling you bye. Susan, what are you doing? Who is Susan? Oh, I don't see a Susan. Ice is, y'all, you can get mad. She like Ice. She said Ice is rocking it. Listen, let me tell you something about us, y'all. We're built like Teflon. Ford trucks. Baby, don't ever let nobody rattle your cage. I just said it's chess, not checkers. You welcome Susan, so she can come up and click the link. What are you doing? You're welcome, Susan. You make her feel welcome, y'all. Thank you. The network specialist says, great live, Queen. You're doing an amazing job of keeping people informed. I try. Susan, welcome. You want to come up here? Let me see what Susan got to say. Well, because they can see y'all coming a mile away, too. That's why they won't. The element of surprise. Surprise, surprise. I be trying to tell y'all that. Y'all be listen. That's it. Anybody else? If not, I think it's been Susan having a good ass time. Susan got her dirty martini. She got her microwave popcorn. She's like, look, I found this channel. I kind of got them riled up. But they were cool. I think I'm gonna come back next week. Susan, we'll see you next week. But listen, y'all shout out to my moderators. Didn't they do a hell of a job today? It's tough. It's tough. We welcome the trolls too. Not that damn sensitive. We're not that damn sensitive. I'm not. You need to know where every piece is on a chessboard. Don't get so riled up so quick. Sometimes sit back, relax, and just watch the board. Watch the moves that are being. Yeah, you ain't got to respond to everything. Let Susan move around the chessboard and just see where she goes. That's it. I'll be trying to teach y'all strategy over here. But for Nikki, don't ever think that you're sitting higher than Don, I'm sorry. You're both in the same spot. They're just peeing on your leg and telling you it's raining. That's it. That's all. Good night, everybody. I will see y'all tomorrow, and come ready. Come ready on I Said What I Said. We going in. I will see y'all.